Hello everyone, Joe here to provide you guys with a little bit of a writing tutorial as we head forward with the semester in Animal Science and Agronomy 3203W. So the outcomes of this video, after watching this video you should be able to explain writing expectations in our writing intensive course, create correctly formatted citations, demonstrate how to correctly format a bibliography page, and finally, understand the importance of effective written communication. So first off, we got to know a little bit about the course writing expectations themselves. So the writing activities that we're going to be doing this semester vary quite a bit. So first, we're going to have small group essays, and these essays are going to focus one on sustainability, one on agronomy, and one on animal welfare. These small group essays are going to be done at the group level, so you're going to be with two other individuals on these essays, and we're going to go a little bit more in depth as to the different roles and expectations for those here on our next slide in a minute. Next, we have the group semester project or GSP assignments. These assignments are going to vary in length and structure. Some of them are going to be rough drafts, some of them are going to be outlines, but in the end, you're going to turn in a vodcast and a paper. The expectation for this is that you'll follow the requirements on the assignment sheet and as discussed in class. In-class writing exercises, so these will be different every time they're offered. Basically what will happen is you'll come into class and we'll have a little bit of discussion at the table on these writing exercise days, and then we will have a little bit of time in class to write about our thoughts on the discussion and on the assigned reading, and condense those thoughts into one cohesive essay, usually about a paragraph in length or shorter. And finally, individual reflection essays, which are going to be done at the end of every group semester at the end of the group semester project and at the end of the small group essays, just to reflect on your experience there. So some general expectations we have. Number one, this is probably the most important. Do not plagiarize. Have original work. If you have any questions about originality or anything of that sort, please do not hesitate to let us know. We would love to walk through some plagiarism and originality expectations with you all. When in doubt, just ask. Next, we have follow page requirements and limits as outlined. So on most of our papers, we are going to have a set limit or length requirement. Please adhere to these as we have a lot to get through, and we want to make sure that we give every paper the same consideration and we spend equal times on each paper. Spelling and grammar do count. Those are very important. So when we are editing and fine-tuning our essays, please be sure to make sure that we have spell check turned on and that we have all of those squiggly lines removed so that everything is good to go there. Next up, use citations as needed. Again, we want to give credit to those people who deserve it. And finally, references as needed. So at the end of your paper, you should have a references page or a bibliography to give credit to the citations and to any sources that you use throughout your entire project or paper. Again, please let us know if you have any questions on these expectations. So next up, we have the small group writing expectations. So in these small group assignments, we're going to have 3 roles. So our first role is going to be our lead writer. The lead writer is going to have a very important role, and we're each going to have a turn to be a lead writer in this semester. So the lead writer is going to gather information and data, coordinate communication with the instructors and TAs as needed or requested, write the bulk of the content, but not everything. That's very important. And finally, they will be the one who uploads the assignment to Moodle on behalf of group members. And it's going to be important that the lead writer is the one who is actually uploading it, because we want to make sure that everyone has a fair shot at uploading it to Moodle, and then we'll grade it on Moodle and then give everyone the feedback as well. Then finally, we'll have the 2 editors. So the editors will work with the lead writer and cooperate in that they will make revisions to content and syntax as needed, and they will make be sure that they give support to the lead writer by gathering research and writing as needed. So the lead writer should delegate those responsibilities as needed. Note that there are the 3 main roles and the 3 papers. This means that each of your small group members should be a lead writer exactly 1 time and an editor exactly twice. So citation format. So we are using the CSE format. This isn't the College of Science and Engineering. It stands for something else. You can check it out on Moodle for more examples, but here are some examples for starters. So look at the top. We have Quigley et al. 2002. So this would be an acceptable citation form because it highlights the authors as well as the year of publication. The second one is also acceptable because it highlights the author as well as the year of publication. Notice that they had 3 different publications that they cited, and that's totally acceptable if needed. The third one is also acceptable because it, as mentioned before, discusses or shares the person who published it as well as the year. And finally, the last one is another way to demonstrate that citation. So as long as you got the author and the name in there, it doesn't matter what's inside or outside of the parentheses, but just make sure that both of those key pieces are in there. Essentially, just be sure to include the year and the author. But more examples are posted on Moodle, but be sure to always ask questions. For many students, the easiest way to do it is that fourth example where the name is in the parentheses as well as the year, just for consistency. And then going off of this, we have bibliography pages. So whenever we cite something or whenever we use someone else's work, it's important that we have a bibliography page to go off of at the end so we know where exactly your information came from. So this is an example of a way to outline your bibliography. I'll pause for a second so you can look over it. So notice that the citations or the entries are listed in alphabetical order by last name. In the event that last name is not available, you're going to want to refer to the name of the publication and have that be the source of alphabetizing. So we have an example here. We don't in this one, it doesn't look like, but we're going to want to make sure that the name of the publication or organization comes first if the last name is not there. More examples and outlines are posted on Moodle if you'd like to see those as well. So to wrap this up, why communicate? So we are in a writing intensive course, and it's important that we have effective and open communication with one another, and we want to make sure that that communication is very professional and articulate as well. So we want to communicate so that we can articulate our thoughts and ideas to those who may not understand. So when we go out into the field and we are with people who might not know where their food comes from, it's important that we have the skills that we need to communicate, and that's one of the primary objectives of this course. So hopefully through these writing activities, you'll be able to develop those communication skills. Having strong professional communication skills will help you convey and share your ideas with others more effectively. So some advice to get to that communication. First, you're going to want to proofread everything. You want to check spell check. You want to have other people read it. Everyone in your group should be proofreading to make sure that there are no errors. Have someone else read it, especially someone who is not familiar with the subject matter. So, for example, I always send things to my mom still, even though she's way back at home to read if she wants, because she doesn't necessarily know as much about agriculture as someone here on campus. So it's always good to have other people in the loop, and then that way they can learn more about agriculture as well, but also just so you have more structured feedback as well, because if someone else who isn't familiar with the subject reads it, they might be able to pick up on something that you thought other people would have understood. So it's good to have some fresh eyes look at it, especially someone who might not know everything about the subject. They're going to really be the ones to challenge you and ask plenty of questions to challenge your opinions and the thoughts that you have. They're going to really challenge you to dig deeper. And then finally, or second to last, we have ask questions. So be sure to ask the TAs and the two professors if you have any questions about what we expect or what we're looking for in the papers. And finally, please reference Moodle for formatting tips and other assignment requirements. We're going to want to make sure that we follow those as well as we can so that we get maximum points on our assignments. So just to review the outcomes of this video, now you should be able to explain writing expectations in our writing intensive course, create correctly formatted citations, demonstrate how to correctly format a bibliography page, and finally, understand the importance of effective written communication. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please let us know if you have any questions about this video or if there's anything that we can do to further enhance your learning.